Our brains are wired for survival. When we encounter an ambiguous, frightening shape in the dark, our internal pattern recognition immediately takes over. We force logic onto the unknown, convincing ourselves it is simply a coat on a chair or a trick of the light. Occasionally, an event occurs that the human mind cannot rationalize away. Tonight, we are examining 10 separate, terrifying incidents captured by ordinary people. 10 specific moments where the basic rules of reality broke down. If we look closely at these incidents together, distinct patterns emerge. By analyzing them, we can classify exactly how the universe fractures into 3 distinct types of anomalies. The first classification is echoes of the past. This is a temporal anomaly where historical trauma refuses to stay buried, bleeding directly into the present day. Consider the case of a university student named Sarah. Waiting alone at an isolated roadside shelter past midnight, she noticed a silent, elderly woman sitting motionless beside her. A few minutes later, Sarah looked back, and the woman had vanished. All that remained was a folded bus ticket resting exactly where the figure had sat. The paper was dated 1994. A search of local records revealed a fatal bus accident occurred on that exact stretch of road that same year, involving a passenger who matched the silent woman. A similar temporal echo happened to Arjun, who lived alone on an abandoned farm. At 2:17 a.m., he heard a voice crying out his name, begging to be pulled from inside a heavy, concrete-sealed well behind his house. The next morning, neighbors confirmed the concrete lid had not been moved in years. There were no footprints or signs of tampering. Yet the village archives held a disturbing detail. 30 years earlier, a missing person with that exact voice disappeared right beside that specific well. We see the same geographic anchoring in the forest. A group of campers followed a floating, glowing anomaly through the trees until it hovered stationary over a patch of dirt. Investigators later dug into that exact soil to discover a forgotten, hidden grave. These events show us that time does not always move in a straight line. Extremely traumatic moments can leave permanent, looping scars anchored to specific coordinates on the map. Our second classification is glitches in the system. These are spatial anomalies where the basic rules of geometry and physics suddenly fail. This diagram illustrates a 1960s apartment building. At 3:04 a.m., cameras captured a man climbing from the first floor to the second, up to the third. The problem? He keeps climbing, ascending stairs into empty, blank space toward a fourth floor that does not exist. We observe a similar breakdown of physics in a locked school classroom. Security footage captured heavy wooden desks silently sliding across the floor on their own, rearranging themselves into a perfect geometric circle inside a secured, empty room. Or take the mechanical anomaly of a disconnected vintage radio. Despite having no functional parts, it powered itself on every night at exactly 1:11 a.m., broadcasting distant laughter for exactly 47 seconds. These instances point towards structural failures, mechanical errors within a reality we assume is stable. The final classification is the unseen watchers. These are active entities observing or following us, entirely invisible to the naked eye, and only caught through technological lenses. During a snowstorm, a group of stranded hikers sent up a drone to survey their route. When they reviewed the footage later, they saw a dark figure perfectly maintaining its distance right behind them. None of the hikers saw it with their own eyes. In another incident, a wedding photographer accidentally left a camera running in an empty reception hall. The footage captured every chair in the room slowly rotating, one by one, to face an invisible presence that had entered the space. This technology can also target us directly. One man answered a call on his cell phone, only to see his own number on the caller ID. On the other end, his own voice whispered a warning not to open the front door, just 3 seconds before someone knocked. This culminates in the case of a live streamer exploring an abandoned hospital. As thousands watched the broadcast, the chat exploded with panicked warnings about a figure standing directly behind him in the hallway. The streamer turned around to an empty corridor, but to the digital audience, the figure remained visible on the screen. The viewers watched as the entity took step after step toward the camera, right until the broadcast died. modern technology is not disproving the supernatural. Instead, the unblinking eye of a digital camera acts as a filter, revealing figures that our own biology is blind to. The documented supernatural encompasses more than isolated ghost stories, manifesting as temporal loops, spatial glitches, and observers hidden in plain sight. Our scientific understanding of the universe accounts for only a fraction of events occurring around us. Your brain wants to dismiss that bump in the night as a trick of the light. But these 10 incidents show the dark sometimes holds things that refuse to follow our rules. The next time you see a shadow stretch a little too far, or notice an object out of place in an empty room, you must ask yourself if it is simply your imagination or a crack in the system. Reconsider your safety in the dark and sleep carefully.